Hi, everybody. This is Father Bill Holtzinger. I'm Father Bill Holtzinger, and this is your Friday Reflection, and I'm a little bit disheveled, a little dazed, a little in shock and awe, because today...
Habemus Papem.
That is May 8th, is a day that I will never forget, because the cardinals in the conclave elected
Robertum Franciscum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae, Cardinalem Prevost. Qui sibi nomen imposuit, Leonem XIV.
Now Pope Leo XIV. And I had no idea this was coming. People asked lots of questions for me, happens to all of us priests. Who do you think will be the next Pope? And I would not even answer those questions because I don't know enough about any of them. And I kind of just stayed away, let God do that part. I mean, you've been hearing me say, just let the Holy Spirit go. That was my way of not getting involved and trying to conjure up who I thought it would be and just see what the Holy Spirit would give to the church, give to the world. And what I heard, we all heard, if you've not heard it, from the, the cardinal deacon to announce that we have Habemus Papem, we have a new Pope, was Robert Prevost. And I'm thinking, what? And then I hear the commentator, I was listening to EWTN, just to make it clear, he said that is the first, or this is the first American Pope. So I'm like, it is that person. I don't understand a lot of Latin, so there's a lot of words that start when they introduce the Pope, but I was listening very clearly to see if I can catch that name. And sure enough, I like, what? And here's the weird part, because I was with my staff, we were in my office, because we knew, of course, the smoke flew up into the air out of the chimney. We're all gathering around for about 40 minutes to wait before he came out. And, again, there's questions like, who could it be, etc. And I was just joking. I go, well, I don't know. And they said, well, how about what name do you think the Pope might take? And there's all these other different names, and like Matthew or who knows what. And I said, well, I don't know, but I think it would be Bob. Of course, I'm being just facetious because I don't want to really answer the question. And of course, Pope Leo XIV's first name is Robert. And even more, it turns out that is Charlie, our leader of the food closet. He actually guessed it would be him. They said, that's who it's going to be. It's going to be Cardinal Prevost. And there's no way in any scenario that an American bishop, cardinal, would become a pope. Once again, I'm wrong. Well, it turns out, as we all probably know all this information, he also was born in Chicago. As a priest, he went to Peru and there became very active in the community, became a bishop. He's part of the Augustinians. He's, I think, the 6th Augustinian to have this role, and he's the first in modern times. So there's a lot of firsts here. Another one is he's the first one from the United States. He's the first one with dual citizenship. He's the first one from Peru. Not the first one from South America, of course, because Pope Francis was from, of course, Argentina, and those are neighbors. So this is an amazing event, and I will never forget. And not only that, I'm so glad that I was with my staff who were working that day, and we just kind of stopped what we're doing. We're in as a community talking about who could be excited, etc. We even had a table set aside where we had some yellow and white flowers. I brought in some sparkling cider, just because when that'll happen, and I emailed the staff, let's just get together if we happen to be working when it happens. And that's exactly what happened. I thought tomorrow maybe would be the day. Nope, it was today. And I actually had a meeting, and right as I was going to close the door because it was getting kind of distracting, some noise out there, I turned it back around and I had it on my computer, my monitor, the smokestack, this chimney, and white smoke came out of it. I'm like, oh, wait, let's make sure it's white. Sometimes it was gray or it turns black. And it didn't. And then, of course, you hear people going crazy in Vatican Square. You start hearing the bells. And sure enough, and so I yell out to the whole staff, we have a pope. He's been elected. Come on in. So we sat in the office and just talked and shared. And what an amazing thing. So, of course, he's also, I think, the first from the dicastery of bishops. So he has a background of assigning bishops and also recommending certain priests to become bishops. So he knows the lay of the land, and he knows the culture from South America, in the United States as well. The languages, I believe he speaks English, Spanish. I think he speaks French, clearly Italian, and he speaks some Latin, and I think he can read German. There may be more. There's so much that we're still going to learn from him. And I'm just kind of like, I'm so excited. An American Pope? That's like a fictional book. How can this possibly be? Well, because the Holy Spirit's involved. Go back to all that. Remember, I said, be cautious about looking at the pundits and what they might say. And that's why I try to avoid giving any kind of thoughts as to who could possibly be that person. And, well, what a surprise. What a glorious surprise for all of us, especially us in the United States. I wonder, is he goes on vacation? Is he going to go to Peru? But maybe he likely would go visit Chicago and hey, congratulations to everybody from Chicago, right? That's awesome. But apparently, the cardinals believe that this is the person that the world needs, that the Holy Spirit inspired them to elect. And I have to think that because I would normally, just in my own reason, say, well, politically, that's not going to go well at all. I mean, the United States thinks that, we're a superpower. Of course, we are in so many ways, but that can look like arrogance to other countries. And we think differently as Westerners than Easterners in other countries as well. Is that going to work? So a lot of things are noted. He spoke Italian when he was speaking to the community of people. And when he did speak, he didn't just say, peace be with you. He said, peace be with all of you. That's a tell. More of a tell is his name, Leo. The last Leo was Leo the 13th. That's back in 1903. So that's 102 years ago. And he is a saint. In fact, all of the Leos, I believe, are saints. They're all canonized, I believe. But this particular saint, Leo the 13th, whom Leo the 14th is, his namesake, wrote the document encyclical Rerum Novarum, the foundational reflection of the church on social justice. And it's interesting because 2,000 years have passed and we really haven't had a really thought out, cohesive sense of a doctrine or a theology around social justice. But Pope Leo the 13th is that person, Rerum Novarum. It's worth your read because that's also a tell. This is something about the Pope that we're going to have, and very much different than Francis, but also putting into action some of the things. He mentioned synodality when he was speaking. Again, I'm picking some of this up in Italian. Don't know Italian really well, just because I know some Spanish. So I think we're into some amazing times with our new Pope. So whether you know him or don't know him, whether you are happy or not, this is the one that the Holy Spirit has chosen. I am just kind of flabbergasted. I kind of don't know what else to say, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited. In fact, I was so excited. I said, let's have a little party in the office, and we did that afterwards. And I talked to Dr. Irwin, and we reserved the end of the day to bring all the kids in the church. We quickly got a picture of him on a poster board, did some social media. We're going to have some holy cards so you can pray for him, hopefully out as soon as possible. And we had basically a service of praising God for him and praying for him, sang some songs. I gave a small little homily, and then the kids ended the day. But I told them, this is a day you should never forget. This is a day where a pope was elected. You saw it as it happened. And it's going to be quite a ride, I think. The Holy Spirit's in charge. I don't know what direction and how this is going to happen. But boy, oh boy, what a wonderful day that is. The church rejoices. The world rejoices. Everybody's been praying for this. So I want to thank you for your prayers. This weekend, hopefully we'll have our yellow and white bunting around this image and also around the doors. Hopefully maybe we might even have some holy cards out. We'll see. It's an international festival this weekend. And I think how amazing that is that a man from the United States and also Peru, who represents many cultures, speaks many languages, is our new Pope. So we have many reasons to celebrate. Many people in our community. I think there's 44 different countries minimally represented. I think we have that many banners coming in just at this 5:30 Mass. So by the way, if you kind of go to the International Festival, you need to come to Mass. That would be the perfect time to see our internationality, on display. But ultimately, it's a prayer of thanksgiving to God. That's what Mass is. It's not so much about ourselves. It's about what God has done and has continued to do for you and me, and for the world. So folks, let's rejoice. Let's rejoice that we have now a Pope. Habemus Papem. God bless you, and I'll see you this weekend. Bye-bye.